Hey boys, it's HarmNone. Today we're going to be going over what to buy and what to avoid this week in Grand Theft Auto Online, and we have a pretty good week on our hands. Now quickly, before we get into the video, consider dropping a like and subscribing if you guys are new. A ton of you guys watch these. This series is growing like crazy, but none of you guys are subscribing. Consider subscribing if you like this style of content, because clearly some of you do and you're just not subbed. But anyways, with that being said, let's go ahead and get started with the weekly challenge, which is going to be to complete 5 pizza deliveries this week, and for doing this you're going to receive a bonus $300,000. So that's pretty good, and not to mention that pizza deliveries are on double money this week, so this is actually a pretty good bonus. Now, not only is pizza work on double money, but we also have taxi work on double money. We have the quickie farm deliveries on double money and double RP as well. And we have the Bobcat security missions also on double money and double RP. So those are going to be paying anywhere between $30 and $50, maybe $60,000 for like the quickie farm delivery. But decently this week, if you're like a newer player, they're not like the worst way to make money. I would definitely advise doing the pizza deliveries for that 300 grand. I think that is worth it. But other than that, you could kind of skip most of them, I think. However, we also have the new odd jobs added into Grand Theft Auto Online this week. Those being the forklift operator, firefighter, and newspaper delivery missions. Those are all added into GTA Online this week. These were teased a long time ago. They're finally in the game. So that's cool, and they're all paying double money and double RP. Now, I'm going to go ahead and assume they're probably paying about $30,000 to $50,000 each on double money, kind of similar to all the other sort of random odd jobs that we've just gone over. So probably not going to be the craziest way to make money this week, but definitely going to be worth a shot, especially the forklift operator, of course. We have double production speed in the Coke lockup this week, which is going to be a pretty good way to make money. That's going to make you about $210,000 per hour right now. And with the mansion boost applied to it, it's going to make you a lot more money. We're going to talk about this in tomorrow's video, going over how to make millions of dollars this week in GTA Online. But let me just tell you, it's good. It's good. That's all you really need to know. I would run that as soon as possible, but check out tomorrow's video when it comes out. I totally skipped over it when I was recording the start of the video, but RC time trials are on double money this week, so those are going to pay $100,000 a day. So that's about 700k up for grabs this week, which is pretty cool. The featured series this week is the Issy series. It's going to be paying double money and double RP, which is pretty cool. And the community race series is also on double money and double RP this week. Now, in addition to the bonus on the Coke lockup, they're also going to be on sale this week. They're 40% off. Now, out of the locations to pick, I would always recommend to get the Alamo C location. It's pretty much the most ideal. However, the one other location you may want to consider if you want a business in the city is the Morningwood location. It's not really better than the Alamo C location, in all honesty. This is in the Del Perro neighborhood. I have this one on my Xbox character, and half the time when you start a mission, you have to drive all the way up to Sandy Shores anyway. So it's like, what's the point, really? You know what I mean? So I'd recommend just getting the Alamo C location. Now, in addition to this, the Coke lockup upgrades are also on discount. They're all 40% off. So make sure you're getting the staff, the equipment, and the security upgrade all this week while they're 40% off. This is going to save you a ton of money, and it's going to make your business way more profitable. And the security upgrade, in conjunction with the mansion, if you have it, is going to make the business not get raided anymore. So that's a big plus. For vehicle discounts, starting off on Elitist Travel, we have the Blimp discounted this week for $626,500. This is something I don't recommend getting. It is just simply not worth it. Now, if you did want one, I mean, now's going to be the time to do it, I guess, but you're never going to use it, really. Like, are you really? You know, I don't think so. I don't recommend getting a Blimp. I don't think it's worth it. $626,000 is a ton of money, and you should not waste it on a Blimp, in my opinion, especially because there's some better stuff discounted this week. And we also have the Buckingham Shamal for $805,000, 30% off this week. The Shamal is just a Luxor that's worse looking, in my opinion, at least. It has the Air Emu livery on it, which is interesting, I guess. It's a little bit more unique than the Luxor, but it's by no means better. It's the same speed. It's the exact same plane. It's just reskinned. This is not something I recommend buying this week. I don't think it's worth it. Over on the Benny's website, we have the Ubermacht Sentinel Classic discounted this week, going for $455,000, which is not a bad price whatsoever. Plus, you can always upgrade this into the Sentinel Classic wide body at Benny's as well, which gives it a ton of extra customization options. So if you want to do that at some point in the future, or even if you don't, this is still a really good deal. $455K for this car is just sweet. You should absolutely buy one. Over on Legendary Motorsport, under the two-door section, we have the Pegassi Zaruso discounted for $1,347,500. I feel like for this amount of money, you can get a lot more car in other places. The Zaruso also isn't exactly the prettiest looking car ever. I think it kind of looks like an anteater. It has this big snout for a hood right here, which I think is just not really that great looking. Customization wise, it's also got some kind of strange options, and overall it's not the best looking car. The fitment of the wheels is also absolutely horrendous. I hate how it looks. It does have a missile lock-on jammer available for it, but trust me guys, there are so many better cars that you can buy for this amount of money. So I really would highly recommend not buying a Zaruso this week. Scrolling all the way to the bottom of Legendary Motorsport, we have the Grotti Cheetah, also going for $455,000, the same price as the Sentinel Classic. It has a missile lock-on jammer available for it now, which is pretty cool. This is probably one of the best OG supercars in Grand Theft Auto Online. This thing never got enough attention and never got enough love. Now, it was not one of the fastest OG supercars, but it is a really, really cool car to drive. I personally love it. Now, that's not to say that it's a great car. For $455K, it's definitely not the worst car you could buy, that's for sure. It does have a little bit in the way of customization, but not much. If you want to take a chance on just a fun car for free mode, I would definitely recommend this thing personally, but for most people, you're probably going to want to avoid it. So really, unless you're in the market for an old supercar and nostalgia purposes and stuff like that, you can just avoid this one. Under the four-door section on Legendary, we have the Canis Free Crawler for $417,900. Now, if you had asked me a couple of years ago if I would have recommended this thing, I would have said absolutely not. However, it is actually a really, really fun off-road vehicle. It has crazy suspension on it, so you can hit fat jumps and you can land super easily. It's got a lot of travel to it, which is really cool. Customization wise, it actually has a pretty surprising amount of stuff you can do as well. So this is one for $417,000. If you're in the market for an off-road vehicle, I do honestly recommend it. However, if you're not in the market for an off-road vehicle like this, you can avoid it. It's not going to be the best for off-road class racing or anything. It's simply going to be good for free mode, and that's what I recommend it for. If you don't need a vehicle for that though, skip it. Something I did want to make mention of is that the Dinka Thrust has been added back to the websites, and it has a trade price that's unlockable now for completing the new newspaper delivery missions. It can be unlocked by completing 10 of them, which is kind of cool. So if you're interested in that, check it out maybe. Over on Warstock, we have the Brute Security Stockade available this week. It's discounted for $1,281,263, probably about $1.7 million if you don't have the trade price for it. It's absolutely not worth buying. It's a Pegasus vehicle and it cannot be stored in a garage. There's no customization you can do or anything like that. So other than for like RP, there's no point in buying this thing, so please avoid it. We also have the Taxi discounted this week. Now, a lot of people are mistaken in thinking you need to buy the Taxi to be able to actually do the downtown cab company work, and that is actually not true at all. So save yourself the money. Do not buy a Taxi. I really don't recommend it. 340 grand is a lot for a Pegasus vehicle. Again, it's a Pegasus vehicle. You can't even put it in a garage, which is kind of crazy. So I don't recommend this. Now we also have the Stockade and the Fire Truck. Now the Stockade is not worth buying. Again, same as the Brute Security Stockade. It's a Pegasus vehicle. It is nothing more. The Fire Truck is still just a Pegasus vehicle. You don't need it to do the new firefighter missions, so there's really no point in buying it unless you want to be able to get one at your command. But you can also add the emergency services as a contact on your phone and just call the fire department and you'll get a fire truck right to you, and that'll save you literally millions of dollars. So please don't buy a fire truck this week either. Over on Southern, we have the Ubermacht Sentinel Classic discounted again, except it has a trade price on Southern, which is crazy. So make sure you don't buy it from Benny's. Buy it from Southern. You can get it for literally an extra $115K off. Please buy it from Southern if you're gonna buy it. You can get it for way cheaper. That's crazy. I didn't even realize that. That's insane. Yeah, buy it from Southern. Don't buy it from Benny's. That's crazy. I had no idea about that. I knew it was on Southern. I just didn't realize there was a discrepancy in price. But anyway, We also have the Declassy Hot Ring Saber. Not really worth it. There's not really worth buying. The Hot Ring Hellfire is faster than this thing in every single way, and it has an air brake, which is really cool. The Hot Ring Saber is slower. Now, granted, it is a lot cheaper than the Hot Ring Hellfire, but it's worse performance-wise, and you're really only buying it for performance. So I don't really recommend buying the Hot Ring Saber. I just simply don't think it's worth it anymore. Under the off-road section on Southern, we have the Nagasaki Outlaw for $665K to $887, depending on if you have the trade price or not. Now, the Nagasaki Outlaw is actually a pretty good off-roader. It's fun to drive and everything like that. However, it's not going to win you races or anything like that. It's not exceptional performance-wise. It's not going to outperform, you know, the Canis Terminus or the Draugr or anything like that. Probably even the Camacho, to be honest. It's pretty cool for free mode. Other than that, though, kind of can skip it. And I don't really think it has any customization either, if I recall correctly. We also have the MTL Dune discounted this week, which is crazy. $910,000, which is a lot of money, to be honest. There's 2 livery options, and this is a Pegasus vehicle. Cannot be repaired, cannot be customized, cannot be done up in any way, shape, or form. You can't even do performance upgrades or anything. So again, another Pegasus vehicle, I don't recommend it. I just simply don't. So I would say to avoid the MTL Dune this week, guys. We also do have a free Pegassi Pizza Boy available this week. So if you don't have one, you can get a free Pizza Boy, and you can upgrade this and then use a custom variant to do the pizza delivery missions, which is pretty cool. So I do recommend getting a custom Pegassi Pizza Boy. I mean, it's literally free, so everyone should really get it, to be honest. And last but not least, well, actually least, the Dinka Vito Modern is also discounted 30% off, and $696,500 for a go-kart. Don't, please, just don't. Just, you're not gonna, even if you think it's funny and for the meme and everything, no, please don't do it. Seriously, you will never use it. I promise you that much. It is just not worth buying. Within the casino, the podium vehicle this week is the Mammoth Patriot Mil-Spec. This is about a $1.2 million vehicle. It has Amani Tech capabilities, which is pretty cool. It is one of the worst Amani Tech vehicles in the game, though, I will just say that. But if you can get it for free, that's a lot better than buying it. So I do recommend this. Within the car meet, we have the Declassy Tampa GT, which is a relatively new car, and fun fact, it's actually the fastest muscle car in the game with HSW applied to it. This week, it can be won for placing top 4. That's it. That's the challenge. So make sure to do this with your friends this week. If you have anybody, even if you have randoms, just go into a race with only 4 people, like a drag race, and literally finish it, and you will get this car for free. It's a $1,311,000 car, so definitely try to do it. Now, within the car meet here, we have the Benefactor Felter, BF Bifta, and Lampadati Furore GT. This is going to go for $448,000. Pretty cool car, I gotta say. Not 100% worth the money, but it is really cool. The Bifta, $75,000, and the Felter, of course, $145,000. Felter is a must-buy this week if you don't have one yet. The BF Bifta is pretty cool too, and so is the Furore GT. I kind of recommend all 3 of them, to be honest, but out of the 3, the Furore is definitely the most expensive and the least necessary to buy. So if you're going to buy all 3, make the Furore your last priority. That's for sure. We also have the Karen Vivinite in here as well with HSW for the HSW test ride this week. $2,763,000. Crazy amount of money. Don't recommend it. The priority file within the Garment Factory this week is the Brute Force file. In your salvage yard robberies, you're going to get the Grotti Stinger TT, which is the top tier vehicle for completing the podium robbery. The Duggan robbery is going to get you the Declassy Drift Yosemite, and the Gangbanger robbery is going to get you the Canis Camacho, which is the low tier vehicle of the week. And of course, none of them are claimable. Within Simeon's, we have the Pegassi Pizza Boy available for $0. We also have the Declassy Lifeguard, which hasn't appeared as a purchasable vehicle in about 600 days, which is kind of crazy to think about. Going for $885,000 if you want it. We also have the Annis Hardy with the taxi livery on it if you want it. That's pretty cool. This is available on the websites regularly, but it's going for $1,434,000. We have the Drift Cypher as well, going for $1.4 million. This does have to have drift tuning on it, by the way, in order to function as a taxi, which kind of sucks. And of course, the Karen 190Z as well, going for $920,000. Out of the vehicles in here, if you want any of them, I mean, I'd definitely get the Pizza Boy for free. Lifeguard is pretty cool and kind of rare. The 190Z is always a cool car. The Cypher and the Annis Hardy are both cool too, but those are regularly available, so I don't recommend those as much. Within luxury autos, we have the Progen Luiva and the Vapid Uranus Laws Speed. Nothing too crazy there. The gun van location today, the day this video is coming out, is here at the factory. in the eastern side of Los Santos. And within the gun van this week, we have 50% off of the service carbine, the compact EMP launcher, military rifle, sweeper shotgun, combat PDW, and the switchblade are also available in here. For throwables, we have proxies, stickies, and tear gas. And body armor is of course discounted as well. Your RC Bandito time trial today is Construction Site 1, your Junk Energy time trial is Sewer System, your HSW time trial is Del Perro Beach to Murrieta Heights, and your regular time trial is Sawmill this week. So there you guys have it. That's been it for what to buy and what to avoid this week in Grand Theft Auto Online. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something. If you did, consider subscribing if you guys are new and leaving a like on the video. I'm gonna have my weekly money guide coming out tomorrow as usual, so make sure to check that out to try to take advantage of what's going on this week in GTA as much as you can. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Till then, take care. Peace.